So here's a little video on my experiences teaching online at Appalachian. I will talk primarily about the course 1020, which is college algebra. So just a general layout, I want to first talk about how I organize my course and why I organize it the way I do, the discussion boards I used, what kind of assignments I use, and then also a little bit about videos. Alright, so here's my As You Learn page for Math 1020 for this summer, and I am going to make that disappear for a little bit. So this first piece is kind of a welcome and then lets them know what the different pieces are. So it says the first block is the introduction, the second block is the topic 1, and so on. So it just tells where you can find that kind of information. And then, alright, in this initial block I have announcements. So I don't have it in here now because the course hasn't started, but I like to give weekly announcements with what they just did, a preview to what's to come, and then a list of all the due dates for everything for the coming week. And there's a general questions forum where they can just ask any questions they have about anything. And then I have a video overview of As You Learn. So kind of like what this is, I give a little video of how they should navigate As You Learn, so how they can find different things. So for instance, they often don't know to click that this video lectures is a button, so explaining that kind of stuff to them. So the syllabus I use in As You Learn for all my courses is this book style, and in this book there are these different chapters with a bulletin description, goals and objectives, and so on. So if they want to just see how it's graded, they can go there, or assignment descriptions, and so on. So I also have information about Wiley Plus, that's the online system for homework. And supplemental materials, there's 3 topics in this course that are not covered in the book that we supplement with, and then a syllabus quiz. The main purpose of the syllabus quiz is just to make sure they have actually read the syllabus. And then I have this button, which is contains all the video lectures for the course in order. So this is where they can find all the YouTube videos that I've created. So if you don't know about how to make this button, you can do that by add an activity, and it is the bootstrap element, and that'll create a button for you. So I've used that same feature for each of the topics. So topic 1 schedule, you can click on it and it drops down and it tells you day to day what to do. So May 29th, watch this video, and it gives you a link to the YouTube, but I don't have an active link here because then it would actually insert the video and then it makes this thing not look so good. So that's why I had that button up there with all the videos in it. It says the graded assignments and when they're due. So most stuff, not everything, but most, I have a cutoff date, like a date and a cutoff date. So it's kind of a suggestion. If you want to kind of work on it every day, these are the suggestions. But I realize that's not always realistic for students working in the summer. So I have this cutoff date. So I recommend you do it by the 30th, but I will cut the assignment off on June 3rd so that you can use the weekend if you need to. So I often have a cutoff date for Sunday night. Then I have a little block describing what the 2 discussion boards are, and then below it are the 2 discussions. So the first one is a Wiley discussion board, and it's meant for just questions and answers about the homework. So I usually post really short videos on problems that typically cause problems for students, and to encourage them to ask questions here. And then I have a project discussion board. So there's 3 projects throughout the course that most of them are related to sustainability, just because that's what I like. And the discussion board, it's actually hard to discuss math online, partly because it's hard to type math. So these discussion boards are more about the topic. So one, for instance, is about sea level rise and using trigonometry to see if this certain resort at Myrtle Beach will be gone in X number of years. But they also have to look up an article about sea level rise and ask some questions about it. So that's where they do that. Then this next section is as you learn assignments. So this icon is for an assignment, and the check mark is for a quiz, is what they call it. So for each Wiley assignment, and that's the online homework system, I have them report their grade here. But I like to do this because they also have the opportunity now to explain why they missed something. So if it was a little mistake, like sometimes if you put an X instead of a T, it's considered wrong, and if they can recognize that then and report it here, then I will give them credit. For the quizzes, the main reason they're not Wiley assignments is like trigonometry is not in Wiley. So I just made my own assignments for those topics. And then for each of the 3 topics, they have an assessment, a test, which is timed. And if this wasn't a terminal course, I would probably do it at a testing center, but I don't worry about it. So all of my topics, all 3 topics, are set up the same way with this schedule. And then 2 discussion boards, and then the assignments for that topic. Alright. So I wanted to mention, the impacts of me teaching online. So it's really helped focus me to think about what's most important, especially in the face-to-face classes. I've asked myself all the time, what am I doing in class today that cannot be done online? Because I want to be respectful of their time, and I want to make it valuable. And so what is the purpose of meeting? So my face-to-face classes have gotten a lot more active and less lecture-y. And so I have, even my face-to-face classes will have videos for them to watch, and then we can apply what they learned in class, and then I'm there to help them. So it's really impacted my face-to-face classes. And then I also thought I'd say a little about the different software that I use. So Cam Scanner is a free scanner for your phone, and students can submit PDF files. So if they take a picture using Cam Scanner of however many pages, they can batch it together, and it's one PDF. And the reason why PDFs are so good, for me at least, is that you can grade them in as you learn. So when you have an assignment that they're uploading a file, you can force it to require it to be a PDF only, and then you can grade it, you can see it in as you learn. You don't have to download it, grade it, and upload it back up. Explain Everything and Doceri are both apps for creating videos. I've played more with Doceri, mainly because it has this way of easily uploading to YouTube. So I use those 2 more for short little explanations on something. Like sometimes if a student asks a question, it's just really hard to explain it. You want to draw and talk at the same time when you're trying to explain math. So I often make a little quick video, drag it to YouTube, and then it's there. One advantage of Explain Everything is that I could write on a PDF. So a lot of my files are PDFs, where Doceri I often have to take a picture of my PDF and then put it into Doceri. Camtasia, which is what I'm using to make this video, is what I use for making longer videos, more of my lectures, and the advantage is you can edit it. So I can mess up, pause, start again, and then I can go back and edit the video instead of having to start completely over.